The Sunday after the celebration of the great Christmas feast is another glorious celebration, the feast of the Holy Family of Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. As we celebrate the birth of the child God, we also remember that Jesus came to exalt the human family, God's other great invention after the sacrament of marriage. We can say two things about this feast, basing ourselves from the Gospel reading from the 2nd chapter of St. Luke, verses 22 to 40. First, Joseph and Mary performed the customary religious practices according to the Jewish law. Secondly, the short description of the private, hidden life of Jesus as he grew to maturity. The purification of Mary and the presentation of Jesus are a celebration of the piety of the Holy Family. Piety is defined as a quality showing great reverence, devotion, and religiosity. The Holy Family weren't only obeying the law, they were really showing their great devotion and attachment to God. No wonder. If Jesus were only an ordinary man, he would have been a good adult person because of the religiosity of his parents and the atmosphere in which he grew up. We can say the same thing about Simeon and Anna, both devoted to God for the whole of their lives. That's why they recognized immediately the Messiah when he came into the temple. This is the great lesson for our times today and in the future. A family that carefully and with dedication practices their religious devotions will be blessed by God and will produce God-fearing children. But the opposite is also true. Families with no regard for religion and piety will have difficulty facing life's challenges. The second part of the Gospel describes what is known as the hidden life of Jesus. The child grew and became strong, filled with wisdom, and the favor of God was upon him. Luke chapter 2, verse 40. We know that Jesus is the Son of God, but as a man, he has to follow the nature's law of growth, having to experience childhood, puberty, and adolescence like any normal person. Jesus is slowly beginning to live a life of self-emptying and dedication. He was God, but he did not cling to his divinity, but instead became a man like us. His humility and emptying of self is his way of preparing for his public life. Again, one lesson for families is to teach children humility and ways of emptying of themselves instead of learning self-entitlement at an early age. The maturity of a person is measured on not how much one can get for himself, but how far he can give himself in service of others. Greetings and blessings to all the families on this feast of the Holy Family.
What child is this who laid to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthems sweet, while shepherds watch our King?